All right, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. What up, what up? It's the AGM Podcast, and I go by the name of JC. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Dorian, a.k.a. Huso, and our lovely queen, Yana Captivates, and little bro Bug behind the camera lens. And we got a very, very special treat for y'all today, man. But first and foremost, we just want to thank y'all for all the feedback from the last episode. We got a lot of good reception. People that were just inspired, to see a young African American who, thought outside the box and started a black owned water brand, which we still have right here. My guy 2G, and you guys can go to litg.com to continue to support that, man. That's probably what we're most proud of thus far, but we do plan on topping that today.
Dope.
And also, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share. Anybody watching this on YouTube, you can find this on any major media platform. Just type in the AGM Podcast or All Grind Media. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, man, let's get into it. Our special guest for today, man, we got a very, very interesting story. When we met, it was just on some we was just cool. We would chop it up, have our conversations. I had no idea of his backstory, no idea where he came from, nothing. We just had a regular cool young brother from around the way, and I think due to his acting credentials, he told me to just do like a little research or something like that, and I went and looked and ended up digging deeper. And ended up, finding out his powerful story, which is also in this book right here that I read top to bottom. He had a very, very, special story of what he went through, and I randomly went to him without him knowing that I did look into him and told him, like, man, you such an inspiration to me. I don't even know what you've done, but just the fact that you're able to smile and just be positive and just to keep going, man, that's an inspiration in itself. He right here, y'all can ask him yourself. That's exactly what I came up to and told him. And then come to find out about, all the other things he's, all the other groundwork that he's put in. So activist / actor / just great spirit altogether. My guy, King Jaquell Martin.
Appreciate it.
Clap it up, man.
Thank you.
Our second special guest on the show, man. It's our 7th episode, man. So, we real excited to have you. And, unfortunately, the reason he's here is this, in light of the, the ongoing, oppression of young black men and women everywhere. So, with the, Dante Wright, rest in peace, situation in this past week. But, what particularly hit a nerve was, the situation of the Army lieutenant, I think his name Karan Nazario. Am I saying it right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Karan Nazario, the Army lieutenant that was pepper sprayed, someone who can serve this country and, still come home and, be treated in that sort, which is, a very similar story to my guy right here. I basically just, allow him to, explain kind of his background story and, why this, touched him in the way that it does. And take it from here, my brother.
First of all, let me commend y'all because I wouldn't be here if y'all didn't take the chance to build this platform.
Bro.
To see us being entrepreneurs, to see us putting our face out there, to see us taking command of our lifestyle and taking control of that is powerful.
Appreciate you,
what I mean?
Bro.
Because
Appreciate
most people don't take this risk. Most people aren't
Right.
willing to do what you're doing and to be the
Right.
face of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a long time ago, I heard, heavy is the people that wear the crown. So there comes a responsibility with what y'all doing.
Right.
Because everyone's watching, everyone's going to have an opinion, whether they agree with you or not, and to wear that burden, and to continue doing it and showing up for your, what's this, your 7th show?
Seventh episode.
What means you've
Crazy.
pursued, you know what I'm saying? You've endured all the other shows because you didn't know if it was going to work. You didn't know if people was going to agree.
No idea.
So for y'all to just leap out there on faith is dope.
Right.
And it gave someone like me an opportunity to speak to people that I would have never been able to speak to if you didn't build what you built.
Right. Right.
So I'm super grateful. I'm super humble.
thank you,
I'm
brother.
super proud of y'all. Big facts.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, big facts. And what's so crazy about it is we was doing security together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, that's how we met.
Yeah, we met during Andrew security.
We
You know,
met on just some cool stuff. We had no
stuff.
idea. He could have been a right wing and Trump supporter for all I
Right,
know. I had no idea.
No. We're not even gonna do that.
In theory, maybe.
But and shout out to whoever does that, bro. I mean, people have the right to believe what they want to believe. That's the beautiful thing about free will. But that's just not what I chose. But the funny thing about it is, you caught me off guard. I didn't even share my story and everything that I went through. You know what I mean?
At all.
And it wasn't because I was trying to hide from it or bury it, but just sometimes, even with this situation, you know what I mean? Talking about it, sometimes people try to manipulate it to make it be what they want to be.
Right.
They could be like, "Oh, why are you talking about it now? You just trying to jump on the lieutenant's bandwagon." Nah, man, I've been fighting this for 16 years. And to keep it 100, y'all, you know, I'm so happy that he's getting this justice.
Right.
I'm so happy that, you know, the officer is now I think he's resigned from the position.
I think he was fired. Actually.
Or fired.
He was fired.
Okay.
Yeah, the one from the Dante Rice situation, she resigned.
And so, right, correct. Thank you for that. And so part of me is honestly, I don't want to use the word envious or whatever else because people will take that the wrong way. But I wish that I was able to receive the same justice back then.
Right.
But social media wasn't as popular in
It's more of a
2005,
trend
you know,
now.
so it's totally different. So in my situation, the reason why I say that was because if they would have did everything right, the little girl at Spring Valley High School, it would have never happened to her.
Right.
But because they didn't do anything, they put him in a school, and then he was able to beat up a young lady, you know what I mean, while she was in a classroom sitting in her desk, slamming her head and throw her across the classroom.
Right. And on that point, can you go into your story as far as
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna play. We're gonna
Let's
we
go
have a little bit of fun.
Let's get
You know
into
what I mean?
it.
And that's where why I'm saying what I'm saying right now about the lieutenant situation. I'm glad his justice was swift.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Right. And then I've been enduring this thing for 16 years.
Right. That's over a decade. That's way
a
too long. Way
time.
too long.
So to see someone get the justice, you'd be like, God, me too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I started this whole new hashtag, hashtag police abuse me too.
And that's where Me Too came from in the beginning. With
Why not?
Just that idea. And you specifying that makes it even more valid, just in the sense of it's not just with sexual assault. It's not just with workplace inconsistencies or things that people shouldn't be doing, whatever it may be. It's in everything. Like, there's always going to be a Me Too situation where people have not stepped up or haven't been heard, or have not because they're scared of not being heard because they've seen everybody else not get heard. Whatever it may be. That whole Me Too thing that people be so up in ruffle feathers about, panties in a bunch about, that's real.
It's 100% real.
That's real.
That's why it took me so long to write the book. Because I'm like, man, who finna believe me? We still out in the streets getting shot. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I mean? And no disrespect, but look, I don't care about a mural in the street that says Black Lives Matter.
Absolutely not. What is that going to do?
I don't care about the breadcrumbs that we've been given. You know what I mean? Even with the Stop Asian Hate. Of course that should stop. But even in the midst of Stop Asian Hate, where's Blue Lives Matter right now? Where's All Lives Matter right now? Why? Where's the same people? That,
they
you know
not
what I'm saying?
trying
Why
to
is the
contradict
temperature
what
the
they
same?
gotta say, but yeah,
You know?
the moment Black Lives Matter steps up or anything black related,
When we said
it
Black
gets
Lives
shot
Matter,
down or it gets argued against, as opposed to Stop Asian Hate. No All Lives Matter, no Blue Lives Matter. Like you said, that's absolutely
we're the same energy. Keep the same. They deserve the
Exactly.
same energy.
Man,
and
they
so,
took YG album off iTunes. It's like, man.
you know, I look at it like this: like we've always been there. No, you good, fam. We've always been there to support Asian community. If you look throughout history, you know what I mean. So I feel that the Asian community and the Black community should continue to unite and stand united to go ahead and create the laws that we want to create the change so we can be protected. If we want to get a little deep or whatever else, the Constitution was never meant for us from the beginning. And so what we have is we have amendments, right? But an amendment is just what it is. An amendment can be changed anytime they want it to change. An amendment has a lot of loopholes in it, right? Because you wasn't a part of the original conversation. Right. So that's like if I come to your house, right, and I'm chilling with you in your crib, could I tell you what to do in your house? Of course not. I'm going to play by your rules.
That's common sense.
Right?
Like, yeah.
But you make an amendment if I say, hey, can I use your bathroom? Right. Can I go in your kitchen? Right. Those are amendments.
That's a good analogy.
And the point of it is anytime you say, nah, you can't. It changes. So that's why I feel like officers can say, I fear for my life, but we can't say the same thing. We can't have the same reality. Right. Well, why'd you run? Because I'm scared. I have a history of being murdered. I'm scared. If your history, and no disrespect, if you look at the history of where the police badge comes from, it comes from the slave patrol.
Yeah, spot on.
And honestly, not to digress too much, but just to your point, common sense would say if somebody has a weapon and you don't, you will feel threatened, period. Especially if you have power, which police officers do. Right. But it's common sense and instinctual to be fearful if somebody who is going up against you negatively has a weapon and you don't, you are unarmed, you are automatically the victim. It's survival of the fittest, right? So when it comes down to it, to me, I don't see the logic in officers being like, oh, well, why are you scared? Why are you hesitant? Why are you not doing things? Like, wait. How ignorant is that? Because anybody with the weapon has the higher up. That's like common fucking sense. That's simple logic. Very simple logic. I'm all about logic. That's very simple logic that is overlooked. And I feel like that's one of those things that should be highlighted a lot more. Just the aspect of how real that is. The aspect that logic does make sense and matters in not only America, but in humanity. It makes a lot of sense. And people don't look at the simple logic of a lot of different situations that can be avoided. Simple logic. Very simple. It takes nothing but A plus B equals C. Y'all throwing exponents in alphabet, formulas. Like, y'all doing the extras to me. Right. But proceed. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I think they call it fight or flight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we have the same right and entitlement to that, but I don't think that sometimes when a constitution is not written for you and you're considered 3/5, they don't look at you as a whole person.
Right.
Absolutely. Still haven't.
So